Truck driving and logistics. It's as important today as it was 3 months ago, and probably even more so. And I'm Linda Head with Lone Star College, and I'm happy to be moderating our event today. Thank you to all of you that have joined in, and a special thanks to all of our panelists that you're going to hear from in just a few minutes. In 2014, Steve Head was chosen as the fourth chancellor of Lone Star College, and because of my role in workforce and economic development, was asked to pull together a task force to present what workforce centers of excellence should be designed for the community to get trained into the next set of jobs. Those of you that voted for the bond in 2008 that helped fund our nursing and emergency services program, and we had a smaller bond for our Energy and Manufacturing Institute. What was left? Well, truck driving was right up there, and we started looking for the land as soon as the bond was approved, soon after that. Today, we're here to celebrate that center is opening. The first one with this bond project to open was the Construction Trade Center right after Hurricane Harvey. It was actually supposed to open that Monday, and isn't it appropriate that right now we're trying to move stuff around Houston and around the country in the middle of all this pandemic that we're in the middle of. Those of you that aren't familiar with Lone Star College, we have over 90,000 students. We're one of the largest institutions of higher education in the country. We have over 7,000 employees at our 7 campuses and multiple centers. We have a couple of missions. Our one mission is to transfer students that live in the local community to take English, math, history, and government, and then be able to transfer all that to a four-year institution anywhere in the country. A second major purpose of ours is to create career programs and to develop those things that take anywhere from 1 week to 2 years, and now with our new baccalaureate program, 4 years to get a great career right here in Houston or, again, anywhere in the country. Truck driving is always in the top occupations. It certainly is a middle-skill job, and it provides a nice income for families. And also with truck driving that people might not realize is the overtime pay that people get, and sometimes mileage pay and other things. But it's a great career, and you can own your own business. You can lease or buy your own truck, and depending on the company, and be an entrepreneur. And all truck driving isn't long haul across the country, of course. Just driving back and forth from the Port of Houston, the Houston Airport system, from some of the companies. You're with a lot of companies were invited today that transport materials in and materials around the country. So there's a multitude of jobs. Today we have 7 speakers that are great partners of Lone Star College and have been for a long time, and we're so thrilled that they're here today to share why they are partnered with us and what's so wonderful about our students. And we also have a student, because of course that's really what it's all about. So please sit with us, get your lunch, get a bottled water, get a cup of coffee, and put your feet up and sit and watch. And hopefully you'll be a partner of us. We also have another special guest with Texas Workforce Commission, and I'll introduce him properly when it's his turn to speak. And the band Metallica, people always go crazy when I say this, but the band Metallica has a foundation that is invested now in workforce education, in addition to food, which is how they first started, and you'll hear from them. So let's go ahead and get started. First, I want to introduce Dr. Alton Smith. What do I say? I have his bio, and I'm going to put my glasses on since I am at home like the rest of you, and I have his bio about 2 feet in front of me. So Dr. Alton Smith was elected to District 3 of the Lone Star College System Board of Trustees November of 2014. Following a successful career with Shell Oil Company, Dr. Smith became an educator in 1997. He spent 14 years with Goose Creek Independent School District and was with Klein Independent School District. With Klein, he was a teacher, a chair, and as those of you that know Dr. Alton Smith, of course, he moved up. And his last role there as an employee was Director of Human Resources. He also, during that time period, completed various certifications and degrees, including an EDD degree. In October 2005, he became a member of the Aldine Independent School District Board of Trustees. He's had multiple committees. Anywhere you go in Houston, you see him involved in something. Just so you know, he's on his third or fourth semester of guitar lessons at Lone Star College, so he takes classes with us. He didn't realize he was talented in music and wants to keep moving in that direction. And he tells me retirement's not even in his dictionary. So we're so happy to have Dr. Alton Smith with us. And with that, I'm going to give it to you.
Okay, can you hear me?
We can, and we can see you.
Oh, okay, thank you. You know, that was one heck of an introduction. And one of the things that I promise you today, I'm going to stay within the time limit. And I am so pleased, to be here today. And as Linda indicated, I'm on the Board of Trustees at Lone Star. And I'm here to represent my 8 other colleagues that's on that board. There's a couple other reasons I'm glad to be here today also. On June the 3rd, 1968, I graduated with my first degree and started working for Shell Oil Company on that same day. So this is 52 years ago that this happened on this day. The other reason that I'm glad to be here is I remember, back again in 1968 when Dr. Martin Luther King talked about the drum major instinct, that people had. But he said, when he's gone, he don't want to be known as a drum major, but he wanted to be known as making opportunities possible for all individuals. And the reason I bring that guy up today in this environment is Lone Star has that same mentality. Is Steve Head, Linda Head, and a bunch of other folks have worked tireless to make sure that everybody in our community, without regards to zip code, have an opportunity to get an education, develop a career, and to be the best that they can be and make a contribution to society. So this Truck Driving Institute is another opportunity for individuals in the Houston area to stay close and to go far. Linda just mentioned there are lots of opportunities for truck drivers. You can work for somebody else, you can start your own business, just do lots of things. And I know Linda mentioned that I'm taking guitar lessons. I've always wanted to back an 18-wheeler. So I may take a mini course in truck driving to see if I can back that thing into a tight spot. Yep. I also want to thank individuals from Schneider National, Stevens Transport, Metallica, and the Texas Workforce Commission for supporting us in our efforts. And we promise you, we will not disappoint you, but bring you qualified employees to meet the needs of your business and to meet the needs of our economy. With that, one last thing, I was impressed when I met Eric Coleman on the last video, and I was shocked that a middle-aged person was learning how to drive a truck. And that opened my eyes again that things are possible for everyone. And Lone Star leads the pack to make sure that we leave no one behind. So again, thank all of you. Keep up the good work. And as I always say, maintain the momentum. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Smith. I'm sitting here giggling At what age do you start bragging about your age? You know, most of our life we're trying to pretend we don't know our age. We're so proud of you. We can't be muted. We're proud of you. You keep going and you keep the momentum. You keep us strong.
All right, thank you.
Thank you. Next, I'd like to introduce you to Mr. Joe Phillips. He is in charge of recruiting for Schneider National. He graduated from Middlesex County College in New Jersey, and he's worked at Schneider National since 2016 in various positions, from driver manager to senior recruiting manager. I don't think that's right. I think he's worked there a lot longer. I think he's been in this role maybe since 2016. Joe is an Army Special Ops Command veteran. And he's married, father of 4. I love that. Love that you want to share your family information. And most importantly, he's an employer. And of course, when our students finish, they need to go to work. And we have a wait list of awesome employers like this one that want to hire our students and give them great jobs. So Joe, I'm going to leave it with you.
My name is Joe Phillips, and on behalf of the entire 17,000 members of the Schneider family out of Green Bay, Wisconsin, I'd like to, congratulate you on the Transportation and Global Logistics Technology Center grand opening. Our partnership has been with Lone Star 15 plus years. We've enjoyed the partnership. We've enjoyed each and everything that we do every day. It's always been a quality visit each and every time that we go there. And we're there for a reason. We're there to hire students who want to start their new driving career and come to work for one of the largest truckload carriers in America. Currently, we're right at about 16,000 plus employees with over 3,300 owner-operators. We've got right at about 10,000 tractors, 79,000 trailers. Currently, to date, every day, we travel about 9,600,000 miles delivering objects so that you could eat, so that you could wear, manufacturing each and everything that we do. Schneider is broken down into several different companies. Started out as a van truckload company, diversified into a bulk tanker company, intermodal company, optimodal. We have a huge dedicated offering. We also offer a security service, long-haul trucking to include warehouse, port, and logistics. They're not going to stop there. They're going to continue to move and do what they do. Schneider is predominantly a family-owned and operated company. Al Schneider started this company back in 1935. He sold the family's car, bought his first truck, created Schneider. About 1976, Don Schneider took over the company and took it to where we're at today. Friendly company, honest, human, very upfront. We enjoy hiring new drivers. We enjoy bringing them to the second phase of our instruction, which is either going to be Dallas or Houston, Texas, bringing them up to the next level so that we can put them in one of our tractors and make deliveries for us, either over the road, regional, dedicated, daily home offerings. Some of our large customers are Ford, Chrysler, Chevrolet, Walmart, Harley Davidson, John Deere tractor, you name it, we haul for them. We have a large offering that does cross-border work, either in Canada or in Mexico. On behalf of the entire 16,000 members of Schneider, we say congratulations on this opening, and we're so glad that you did it. More and more and more. I've been in meetings all day long, and they're cranking it back up again. My boss told me, throw your calendar away, get back out on the road, and make it happen. So I'm packing a bag and leaving tonight, and we'll go back out and we'll do this again. It's always been a pleasure working with you, and we really absolutely appreciate your time and inviting us to do this presentation today. And thank you, Linda.
Thank you.
All the members of the new Global Logistics Technology Center.
And I'll have to do a shout out right now to Lori Qualls. And Joe and Lori work together all the time on trying to find the right student for this company. Thank you, Joe. We appreciate you.
Oh, it's my pleasure. Just tell me what I can do for you.
All right. Got it. Next, I get to introduce Miss Angela Horowitz with Stevens Transport. Angela is the Vice President of Administration and Driver Development there. She and I have become great professional friends. She says it like it is, just like I do, and we work through all the problems, and there's lots of problems when you're trying to develop a really strong partnership for training. Stevens began to trust us about 6 years ago in a different kind of partnership where they fund the student tuition, fees, books, all the costs to the student. They have a recruiter in Houston, and then we conduct the training for them. She's very hands-on, even though she has a very high-level job. She's helped us get our certification so that we could offer the DPS testing, and we have authorization to be a testing center at this new site also. And we're looking forward, and hadn't engaged Joe in this conversation yet, in logistics and really improving and updating and modifying our supply chain and logistics program because that's all part of it too. So with that, I'm going to give it to you, Angela.
Well, thank you, Linda. Thank you for that introduction. I really appreciate it. Good afternoon, everyone. Thanks for joining us today on this incredible milestone. I'd like to begin by thanking Linda Head, Vice Chancellor of Lone Star, and Ken Crowell, Executive Director, for their unending support and leadership in the partnership with Stevens Transport. We couldn't be more proud to partner with you. Lone Star's vision to create a dynamic, state-of-the-art transportation training center has become a reality. It's been a labor of love, I know that. And today we're going to cut that ribbon. And this training center, I believe, will serve as a model for the entire country because it's truly state-of-the-art in every way. As we've witnessed through the pandemic, the U.S. supply chain is essential to our economy. Everyone now clearly understands how important truck drivers are as a key link in that chain. The demand has never been higher, and there will always be a need to supply drivers to fill that demand. Stevens has been training entry-level drivers since 1984, when it launched Stevens Transport Driving Academy at our worldwide headquarters here in Dallas, Texas. To date, Stevens has trained more than 50,000 drivers. Our superior training program has become a model for the industry. In 1980, the groundwork was laid, the blueprints were drawn for a truly exceptional North American transportation provider. With forward-thinking, technology-driven mindset, a growing partnership with our customers, and a total company focus on our number one asset, our people, Stevens Transport has become one of the largest and most successful family-owned trucking and full-service logistics companies in North America. We live our mission statement every day, and our philosophy is people are at the heart of any organization. Our mission is to hire and retain top-quality employees, provide them with the finest tools and technologies available, and then challenge them to meet and exceed the highest standards of performance. As you will see in the video we've prepared today, our long-standing partnership with Lone Star College has resulted in over 5,000 students receiving their CDL and launching professional, successful driving careers here at Stevens and beyond. None of this would be possible without Lone Star and their commitment to this partnership. We look forward to much continued success together in this new amazing facility. So thank you to the entire Lone Star organization for allowing Stevens to partner on this incredible journey to help others. Thank you.
We've always known it, and now the rest of America knows it too. Truck drivers are essential to our economy. They went the extra mile for all of us. Just when America needed it most, they delivered. They put in the hours, sacrificed time at home, and never wavered. They kept the shelves stocked, our refrigerators full, and all of our families secure. At Stevens Transport, we're proud to be a part of the logistics and transportation solution that America depends on, now and in the future. Founded in 1980 by Stephen L. Aaron, Stevens Transport remains family-owned and operated. We are consistently ranked as one of North America's leading transportation companies, and we're the largest trucking company in Texas. Stevens Transport services the leading Fortune 500 food distributors in the world. And during our 40 years, we've developed a reputation for outstanding service, responsiveness, professionalism, and sustainability. When combined with our technology and well-trained driving force, it's no wonder we've become the most awarded refrigerated carrier in North America. As our founder Steve Aaron said, success begins and ends with people. And that certainly includes our drivers. Stevens Transport is proud to have helped thousands of men and women begin rewarding, high-paying careers in transportation. Our industry-leading CDL training program is the model by which others follow. And we are particularly proud of our partnership with Lone Star College in Houston, Texas. During the past 10 years, graduates from the Lone Star campus have become some of our most successful Stevens Transport drivers. Today, we're celebrating the opening of the new Lone Star Transportation Institute. The 23-acre state-of-the-art CDL training facility is expansive and impressive. Our partnership over the past decade has been a tremendous success, and we're looking forward to training the next generation of Stevens Transport drivers here.
Well, that was impressive. Thank you for that, Angela. We appreciate it. We appreciate your partnership. You help us be better at what we do. We have used our corporate college customized training experts in instructional design to fine-tune all of our truck driver training. We appreciate you. Next, I have become friends also with Renee Richardson. I'm really excited to introduce her. Renee's the newest addition to the Metallica family, but she's a longtime familiar voice in the San Francisco Bay Area. Renee's best known for her 20-year career as a radio host on KFOG-FM, where she found herself building a strong relationship within the local music community. She's inspired by a culture of philanthropy that is really not unique to the Bay Area. We see a number of nonprofit organizations come from there. And she signed on as the Director of Development with the Blue Bear School of Music in San Francisco. Renee remains an active member of the Board of Trustees for Blue Bear School of Music. And she jumped at the opportunity to help support, guide, and develop the mission set by the Board of Directors in support of Metallica's foundation, All Within My Hand. And Miss Jen Worth is participating today. She's somewhere out there in Cyberland watching. And Jen Worth and Renee and the band members all got connected. And there are some common friends in the Bay Area that want to support fast-track certificate training to get the unemployed to work and get low-income folks to get a decent living. And with that, we got invited in the first round last year to help get some funding for students, and it has made such a difference in students' lives. So, Renee, I'm going to give it to you. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Linda. It's an absolute honor for me to be here with you guys today. When Linda told me about the Global Transportation Center opening, I jumped at the opportunity to join you. And a little bit about the foundation. The foundation was created in 2017 by the members and management of Metallica. We are dedicated to creating sustainable communities through the fight against hunger and supporting workforce education in the trades. We partnered, as Linda mentioned, with the American Association of Community Colleges to create the Metallica Scholars initiative. That was back in 2018. And we had a rigorous application process, and of course, Lone Star rose to the top, and we've been excited to work with them on programs, not only to bolster career and technical training programs, but also to help people get ahead. One of the greatest things we learned in our partnership with Lone Star is just how important our grant has been in providing wraparound services. We learned that we were able to come to the aid of people who, in situations where other grants weren't able to help, we could jump in and help. Metallica is a small foundation in the grand scheme of things, but our help is great and we hope mighty. Some of these things we learned that we could support were providing funding for childcare, which we learned is a huge weight off people's shoulders. Parents who want to improve their trade skills and still have families at home that they need to feed. So we're honored to be able to help those folks. We're excited to learn that offering transportation dollars, such a small thing, one would think getting from place to place wouldn't be so difficult. But Lone Star is a huge campus and Texas is a huge state. And so when we learned that possible funding for gas or that a student might completely stop their program education because of a flat tire and that might set them back, the fact that we could stand up and help out in those ways, while they may seem small to other people, it has a big difference. And we learned that because of our partnership with Lone Star. So we're thrilled to be a part of things. As I mentioned before, All Within My Hands is small. We're a family foundation. Our grants don't near the dollar amounts of many others. But our extended family includes millions of fans around the world. And there's a great deal of support out there for what we're doing together. And I'll say this as a person who gets to work with the band members. Many other celebrity foundations I've seen may be involved, but these guys are truly, truly involved. They have a stake in the game, and they're in it to win it, and they're 100% behind the work that we've started. So it's a pleasure to celebrate with you guys for the grand opening of the Transportation and Global Logistics Center, and to offer our support for those who entered the art of truck driving. Yes, I'm calling it an art, because if you have ever stopped to think about what goes into a world tour for a band like Metallica, and you consider the number of trucks, the number of drivers, the logistics that it takes to get the band's equipment from place to place, state to state, country to country, you too would call it an art. We need these well-trained and skilled truck drivers in every industry, and we're committed to the success of our Metallica Scholars in CDL programs, especially here at Lone Star. And today, while much of our world is on pause and has been mentioned before, we have all found ourselves meeting the people who drive trucks, that make the deliveries, that keep us afloat. So as far as we can see it, the future is bright. I see no brighter spot than here at Lone Star College. And congratulations to everyone on the opening of the Transportation and Global Logistics Center. We're so proud of you, and we're excited to be a part of things. So, yay team, great work.
Hey everyone, Lars Ulrich from Metallica here. Last year, we created a scholarship to promote and support career and technical training at community colleges across the country. By partnering with the American Association of Community Colleges, we made it all happen. And we even gave it a name, the Metallica Scholars Initiative. Supporting workforce education in the trades is important to us because there is a need for well-trained workers. We have seen this to be true in our creative world, along with many other sectors in cities we visit on tour. As the band travels across the country, we meet so many hardworking people, and to be able to encourage them as they endeavor to create better lives for themselves is a tremendous honor. Together with All Within My Hands, we have been able to have a larger impact than we ever imagined. It gives us great pleasure to continue the program with the second year of the Metallica Scholars Initiative, as well as All Within My Hands committing another $1.5 million. Our original 10 schools will be back, as well as 5 new schools joining the fold. You can learn more about the schools, programs, and how to support All Within My Hands by visiting allwithinmyhands.org.
Thank you, Renee. And yes, I wear a Metallica t-shirt, and yes, I have a Metallica onesie when my grandson was born. And now I know the words to Sandman and a lot of other songs. So thank you so much for supporting you, or certainly supporting Zach. And next is a student. We had to pick one. So we asked the instructors in our open enrollment to pick a student that exemplifies what our workforce students are. He's a really nice guy. The first time I spoke with him on the phone, he was driving across the state of Texas and was nice to take my call. Eric Coleman served in the United States Marine Corps from 1985 to 1989. He spent 20 plus years in financial services before making the switch as an empty nester to move to Texas and to become a driver. You might not know that the average age of our workforce students is around 28 years old. In July 2019, he graduated from the Lone Star College Truck Driving Institute. Since graduating, he has worked for Sherman Trucking Company, and he has 3 grown children. Eric, thank you for joining us today. Congratulations to you on your new career, and love to hear from you.
Well, thank you. I appreciate it. It's truly an honor to have this opportunity to speak with you today. And like Dr. Smith says, you know, I was 52 years old last year when I was going through class. And so I'm a wonderful young 53 years of age at this moment. So, but I have truly benefited from all of your hard work in providing an excellent learning institution for a new career for myself. And I'm grateful for the Metallica Foundation because I also benefited from that. And I also was wondering how could I really express as a student what it meant to be there and for what you guys have done for me. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to read an email that I sent to the staff there at Lone Star after I graduated because it truly represents where my heart was at the time I graduated. So I'm going to read this to you and I'll go from there. And it states that my name is Eric Coleman and I'm a recent graduate of the Professional Truck Driver CDL Class A course. This email is in reference to the school's director, Lori Qualls, and her staff. Usually people are quick to complain when an issue arises, but rarely speak up when something positive happens. I'm here to tell you, in my experience, that the professionalism encountered at Lone Star College Transportation Institute was exceptional. Lori always had a smile on her face and consistently inquired as to my well-being. If there was something I needed, she would work very hard to ensure that those needs were met. That within itself explains why her staff are as caring as they are. She leads by example. There are many more positive things that I could say about the instructors and staff, but for the sake of time, I will just say this. I will recommend everyone I know that has an interest in truck driving to Lone Star. If you're ever in need of a spokesperson, look no further. I'm the man for the job. So it looks like I got a job today, and I'm grateful to have it. And now what I want to do is just briefly talk a little bit, go back in reference to the instructors and the staff, because I'm not a fast learner. Some people grasp things very quickly. I do not. And it takes passion, empathy, patience, and true caring to help someone through this. That's exactly what I received from every instructor that I had there. Now, upon graduating, I completed my tanker hazmat endorsements as well as applying and receiving my TWIP card. Within a few weeks, I began and still work for Sherman Trucking in Pasadena as a liquid chemical tank driver, a company that has complete professionalism in training, trust, and care for their drivers, and I'm very happy with the decision I made to join them. Now, even though I'm happy and grateful for where I'm at and for what I do, It all goes back to the foundation that started it all, and that's everyone involved in the professional truck driver CDL Class A course here at Lone Star College Transportation Institute. So with that, I want to say thank you and congratulations on the opening of your brand new facility. Thanks again for having me.
Thank you, Eric. We're so proud of you, and we're so happy to have you. Maybe you'll be in a Metallica video one day. Since they helped pay for some of your expenses. Next, I have the honor of introducing Commissioner Julian Alvarez III. Commissioner Alvarez is the Commissioner representing labor with the Texas Workforce Commission. He is so enthusiastic always about what community colleges are doing in Texas. And so when we knew we were going to have a grand opening, he was the first person I asked because I knew he would get us all wound up and happy and upbeat. Commissioner Alvarez, as the Labor Commissioner, represents the interests of more than 14 million Texas workers with respect to Texas Workforce Commission services and ensures that their concerns are considered in all Commission actions. I'm sure right now he's busier than ever before. Prior to his appointment, Commissioner Alvarez served as president and CEO of the Rio Grande Valley Partnership, and he's also been the Texas Regional Director for U.S. Senator Kay Bailey Hutchinson, advising on legislative and policy issues related to South Texas. Prior to that, he served on the South Texas Drug Task Force as a state trooper for the Texas Department of Public Safety. He earned his Bachelor of Science in Secondary Education from Texas A&M University in Kingsville. And he always takes the time to listen. He knows people are always asking him for something. If you think about what the responsibility is of Texas Workforce Commission, both in terms of the employers trying to find good people and all the community members that are trying to find their way to a great job, it is a huge responsibility. So thank you for taking the time out. And with that, I'm going to give it to you, Commissioner. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Linda. Can you hear me? Great. So can you all see my little truck tractors? I wanted to make sure that Eric could see my trailers that I have here in the boardroom that I display proudly. I want to thank Dr. Head, the Chancellor, obviously, of the great college, Lone Star College, Dr. Smith, the Chairman of the Trustees Group, and other members of the Trustees for inviting me to be a part of something that's historical, and that's that virtual tour that's taking place today at the Lone Star College Transportation and Global Logistics Technology Center. Between January 2019 and April 2020, truck driving has remained one of the top 10 demanding jobs, or like Linda and Miss Angela Horowitz has said, careers, which I love when they say that, for the state of Texas. This industry is so vital to the U.S. economy that transportation and logistics was named by the U.S. Department of Homeland Security the National Cybersecurity and Infrastructure Security Agency as one of the 17 critical infrastructure sectors. And trucking was so important to the Texas economy that Texas workforce deemed truck driving and truck drivers as frontline essential workers for the purpose of subsidized child care. So I know Ms. Richardson is happy to hear that. We made sure that we took care of our child care facilities and those individuals that were put to work during this crisis. Just so that Ms. Richardson would know, when she mentioned child care, we serve 130,000 children a day so that parents can go to work and so that others can go back to school. So we're very grateful to Lone Star College for that. It's so vital in these areas that workers during the pandemic were bringing needed medical supplies and food that allowed many of us to sustain ourselves during this pandemic time. And the truck driving industry is expected to continue growing in Texas with a projected annual openings of 24,414 through 2026. You know, I'm super impressed, Linda, with the work that you all are doing at Lone Star and the other campuses that you're affiliated with. Some of the ideas that we got from you are actually quoted in the tri-agency report so that others that are on there can listen. So some of the things that you've stated in the past, that the state must focus on providing meaningful careers and training for all students including those with a disability, and we've talked about those that are being released from our prisons, so that all students gain the marketable skills an employer desire. That is directly quoted in the tri-agency report. And so I applaud you, and I applaud your staff, all of those that are participating, and especially the chancellor, and those that are members of the trustees. It's your outside-the-box thinking that's allowed us to pursue where we're at today. And so we're very grateful to you. You know, an idea that we got from having this conversation with you, Linda, and of course the chancellor, was to provide opportunities for those individuals that have been touched by the justice system, those individuals that are right now incarcerated. An idea that you had, we were able to speak to Dale Robertson, who's on the call with us today, and Emily Claudefelter, who oversees our JET program. Can you imagine that we now have the first of its kind that's ever been awarded through a JET grant for a CDL simulator, so that those individuals that have been incarcerated and behind bars are actually now receiving a marketable skill? So thank you, Linda, for your help and for all the advice that you give us. And I know that with your energy, my God, I thought I had energy. With your energy and the support of your school, you can pretty much do everything. So I quote Metallica when they say nothing else matters. We need to change that quote and say everything else matters. So Renee, I know, Ms. Richardson, that you're from the Bay Area. I'm from San Jose, where Metallica's from. And so I used to live in the East Hills area by Eastridge Mall. So again, thank you for everyone that's on the call, Schneider National, of course, Stevens Transport, the folks that made this possible through the foundation. We at the Texas Workforce Commission, and I think I speak on behalf of the other two commissioners, we're very grateful to be given this opportunity to participate in today's virtual tour. So thank you.
We so appreciate you. And don't worry, we'll keep applying for those grant funds. Just received one for the COVID-19 emergency fund. So
I know you did. So congratulations on that. You guys, I'm telling you, and we only awarded a few though. So congratulations to you and the school.
No, but one was for driving. It was
I love it.
Drives for Amazon, so it's great.
I love it.
So next, and our last speaker before we actually have Ken Crawl lead the virtual tour is our chancellor. Those of you that are on the call already know who he is because you're either a member of the community, a member of the college system, or an employer that sits on one of his advisory councils. So I don't need to go into his 37 years at Lone Star College, his 6 years as the chancellor, where he started and where he began. What you need to know from me is his huge heart for educating everyone. Everyone. It doesn't matter, as someone said earlier, your zip code, your age, your gender, your ethnicity, or even your country. He's traveled around the world. He's given conversations to students all over the world, and I'm very proud to introduce Dr. Steve Hitt.
Thank you. In case you're all wondering, she's upstairs. I'm downstairs, just so you'll know. So, well, I want to thank all of you for just taking the time. I tell you this, this particular event just illustrates what we stand for. It's about all these partnerships. And Joe, I appreciate you taking the time, and Angela and Renee and Eric. I've had many days where I wish I was driving a truck someplace across country, especially the last couple of months. I will tell you, with this pandemic and seems and the budget issues that we've been dealing with, it's one thing after another. But I think we've all learned that the value of the trucking industry and global logistics and what all that means. I mean, I'm pretty clear about what kept us going during those periods where there seemed to be shortages. We're all waiting for the truck to come in. That's, when you went to CVS or HEB or Kroger or any place else, they would talk about when the trucks are coming in. And Commissioner, I cannot say enough things about the Texas Workforce Commission, enough good things about the Texas Workforce Commission. I sent a note just separately from this to Senator Creighton this morning and told him that you all have the model up there. And I've been dealing with other trustees and working with some of these other agencies about how to help us get back, right, get the economy back. I mean, I think truck driving is an essential piece of that. But I said the Texas Workforce Commission has the model. decide what you're going to do the training, you get paid for it. Everybody benefits. Everybody benefits. So I do want to thank, we've got some other people. It's really interesting to see some of the notes that are coming in from Dale Robertson to Tracy McDaniel to Jen Ward to Richard Cantu, Gil Staley. We've got friends from all over. They may not mean anything to some of you, but these are people from all over the country, by the way, who are aware of what we're trying to do and how we're trying to help people. And Renee on the Metallica, I'm just amazed. I am amazed that a group. I'm really impressed, by the way, with their attention to society, and I think they're a really good role model for everybody. So I cannot tell you how much work went into the picking. I personally looked at probably 9 or 10 different places, and you learn a lot, by the way. And I was just looking for the land. I just want to make sure that, and you learn a lot about what's involved with truck driving. Everything from the entryways to what logistics actually is. Just so you'll know, I actually got a simulator a couple of years ago. I was sick for 2 days after that because I'm very susceptible to motion sickness, so I'm not doing that anymore. I did have an appreciation, though, for what truck drivers go through. I want to thank our Telepson and PBK. There was a lot of work that went into the center, And the staff contributed, and everybody did, everybody involved in this entire project. So we did actually open on June 1. We've had several planned openings. Because of the pandemic, this is the way we're doing things right now. I'm looking at what the truck driving industry is doing. We're trying to get open as soon as we can. We realize that we're part of the economy also. And for us, it's about education. So, and Eric, you mentioned what you mentioned is just a piece of what we do, right? But we think it's important that all of our students, I don't care what age they are, to whether it be academic transfer or workforce, that's really important to us. So to everyone, and we're opening the center, by the way, we're following social distancing and CDC guidelines, and we have ordered several $1 million worth of PPE, and we've got masks and hand sanitizers. If you run short of hand sanitizer, we've got plenty of it. So we're going to be careful about that. But if you're watching online, I want to thank everybody for the support of Lone Star, especially our Board of Trustees. We got Dr. Smith here, and I can't see who's on or who's not, but we can't do this without our Board of Trustees. This particular project, as Linda mentioned, was part of the bond that we passed in 2014. So we're really focused on the workforce. We understand the value of workforce and what it means to our community. So thank all of you. And I'm very proud of the work that we do, but it's all of us together, including Laura. Linda mentioned Laura Qualls, but I know she's worked really hard on this, and so has Ken Crawl. We've got a number of people who've worked really hard on this project, and all of the people that are here on this and in the community also. So thank you again for the opportunity. And we want to get better and better at what we're doing. So if you have ideas, we're always, always interested in what you have to say. And Angela, I remember the first time we met, by the way. I haven't forgotten. And I was pretty clear that we needed to deliver on this, by the way. I think everybody was. So thank you again for just being straightforward with us and tell us what you need. So thank you, Linda.
Thank you. And to close us out so that Ken can give us the virtual tour, I have a couple thanks. The first one is to Susan Vale, who is the project manager. She did a beautiful job. She was very patient. We had lots of stops along the way. She and Denise and Mike and everyone that was on our larger committee, there were slides shown before this, and we'll have them online of the whole team that worked on it. Of course, Lori and Jeff Jobert and Martin Molina and all the instructors and staff, thank you. We did open on the 1st. We have very limited numbers of people in and out of there, and again, following procedures, but without their commitment, we wouldn't have been able to do that. Appreciate the employers that are watching today. Please keep hiring our students. Please keep participating in our advisory councils so that we know what our next steps are. community leaders, send people to us. We're here for students. We're here to deliver on what we say we're going to do. We want everyone. And if they don't have the money, we'll help find them the money. We just want them to come to us and not be afraid to come and realize that college isn't just for English, math, history, and government. College is for everyone. We even teach English, and we have a grant for that. So we teach GED preparation. We have a grant for that. So please send them to us. And Ken Croft. Dr. Dwight Smith is our Vice Chancellor, and he is the first Vice Chancellor to be the leader of a facility like this at Lone Star College. And Dr. Smith trusted Ken and I to figure this out, and we so appreciate that. Jennifer Mott is the CFO. She is who the facilities team reports to, and of course she has to figure out the money, and has also been very gracious. Mario Castillo, you're the last person I have to thank, and I couldn't do this without your help. Mario's pushed us along the way, and being both the COO and General Counsel, did a yeoman's job in trying to make this a reality. But Ken stepped up to the plate when we needed him the most. We needed a director. We needed someone who is highly intelligent, who's really committed and dedicated to Lone Star College, both our students, our employees, and could get it done. That could drive it home from third base, and that's what Ken did. Ken is our Executive Director of Corporate College. He spent 30 years in corporate banking, working at both Citibank and U.S. Bank as Senior Vice President for Business Development. He joined us in 2017. He and his wife, Nancy, have traveled all over the world. He knows what global means. Even went to the country of Ghana on our behalf to explore potential opportunity. I knew his wife first, and then I got to know Ken when he applied for this job. Thank you, Ken. Your commitment's been unwavering, and I couldn't ask for a greater right-hand person in this project. With that, Ken, start our virtual tour, please.
Okay. Thank you, Linda. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm just so pleased to be sitting in the conference room of our new Transportation and Global Logistics Technology Center. We opened up at 6:30 on June 1st, and we have our PPE on and social distancing, and we have students in the classroom and in the truck learning how to drive. So, Brandy, if I can get you to cue up the video for us, I'd like to share with the folks what we have going on here. But here we are, folks. This is the welcome to the lobby for the Transportation Training Center. It's an open concept with natural light. Our advisors are going to sit up front and work with the students and greet them as they come in. We have 5 classrooms dedicated for CDL, logistics, and warehousing. And then we also have the one technology lab with 24 computer stations, one simulation lab. We're walking through the office suite right now for the instructors. We have a staff of 15 full-time people, 11 full-time instructors, and then we also have another 8 part-time instructors. For our training, 24 computer stations, we're turning some of the theory portion of the training online so we can go hybrid, so we can go faster, so they can come in, get their CDL, and get to work. This is the student break area that we have here. We normally have about 1,000 students will flow through our both customized training and the open enrollment program. And then on the outside site, the guys here are doing the pre-trip check on one of the 6 training pads. We also have a pad dedicated for the Texas DPS third-party exam. So pre-trip, yard skills, parallel parking, offset, straight line backing are very important. As Angela has told me over the years, if you can't back up the truck, Ken, you can't make any money. So that's what we have them practicing. It's 2-to-1 students to instructor in the trucks. Then after they're proficient on the yard, then they get to go on the to practice entering and exiting freeways, emergency stops, as well as going through school zones and railroad crossings here. We have 12 trucks and trailers that they train in, and we practiced on the turns. We had the flow pattern going one way one day, so they're working on right-hand turns, and then we'll go the opposite way to work on the left-hand turns the next day. All the instructors are former, they all have their CDLs and are former drivers. We have 4 that are former Lone Star College students that got hired by Stevens and have driven their career and now have come back as instructors. We're really pleased to have them here. The campus sits on a 20-acre site. We have 8.3 acres paved for the training pads, and we have an additional 19 acres next door so we can grow. We're located up in northwest Harris County, just right off of between I-45 and the Hardy Toll Road, right here on Cypress Wood Drive. So would love to have everybody come and tour the facility in person, and we can get you in the truck and run you around the training pad. So with that, everyone, thank you. Thank you for your support of Lone Star, and look forward to seeing you here in spring.